So, I'm Kylie Garner, and today I'll be talking to you guys about why I believe that grades in school shouldn't be based upon who can run the fastest mile or who is the most athletic in PE class. I will discuss three things that will affect or convince someone to believe what I believe. I will talk about how being graded upon a mile time affects children, why we should know this, and why this is a requirement for schools. So, how being graded upon a mile time affects children? It should Children should be able to learn in a more effective way rather than being graded on how fast they run, how heavy they lift, or how slow they run and how much they cannot lift. A child should be graded based upon locating calories on a label or a resting heart rate or even maybe a few sprints. No child should have to worry about failing a PE course and dropping their GPA or failing that class period and having to retake it just because they cannot run within a certain amount of time. The fear of failing just for running affects a child's mind so much that it will make a child run from its athletic abilities. So, a child that could be a superstar in high school playing baseball, we'll never know because they are so scarred by their PE from younger age that they want to run away from athleticism instead of running towards it. I believe that we need to understand this for our own knowledge, not only because some of my classmates do already have children who will be starting grade school, but because I will have children one day and I will know what's going on within the school system. This should be understood because we will have to be able to defend our children who fail PE or who succeed in PE just because they cannot run a mile within 10 minutes. That is the recent standards. It used to be when I was back in school, it was a 13-minute mile. I still couldn't make that. And I was very athletic in high school. I just was not very athletic in my younger years. It is now dropped to 10 minutes. A full mile must be completed without walking within 10 minutes. And most children cannot do that, no matter how hyper or athletic they are. Even as an adult, my fiance is bigger than me and stronger than me, and he can run a mile in less than 10 minutes, and he doesn't have to walk. But I, on the other hand, who was very athletic in high school, played volleyball, I cheered, I ran track. I still cannot run a mile within 10 minutes. I still have to walk, and I still am very out of breath and feel out of shape whenever the situation is said and done. I feel like this should not be done in school because not every child is an athletic star. I know I've already said this, and not everyone can run a mile within 10 minutes, but it's just a very hard situation to deal with, and I am trying to emphasize that no child should be forced to do something that they cannot physically do. They should not be scared of failing a class because they cannot physically do what is required. PE is supposed to be fun and games like it used to be when you would play dodgeball, when you would walk laps in the gym, or when the teacher would come in and y'all would have a scooter day. I feel like you should be graded, our children should be graded upon whether they participate in that, not whether they can or cannot do it. Most children who cannot run a mile in 10 minutes is because they are better for running multiple quick sprints instead of long distance. So they are a short distance quick runner rather than a long distance slow runner. PE should not be a hard graded subject that affects our teenagers or our children's GPA. It should be graded upon simple tests and knowledge of fitness that our children are being taught. It should be a teaching procedure. It shouldn't be someone requiring your child to do something just to pass a class. This quote says everyone is an athlete. The only difference is that some of us are in training and some of us are not. That is quoted from George Sheehan. I agree with this quote 100%. It is the best quote that I found due to the fact that everyone can be an athlete if they choose to be. Not everyone has to be an athlete, but they can be. Some of us are less qualified and, like he said, are still in training, and some of us are way above the grid and we are very athletic and become stars, and that's where we get our NFL stars and our Olympic champions. Um, Here is my citations and my sources. You can click on the links if I was to post this with my embed, and you could read the articles themselves. They're very interesting to read, and they are very knowledgeable. If you have a child and or are pregnant and about to have a child and you want to know what your child will be experiencing, I feel like these articles would be great to view and to take a look at just for your own knowledge. In conclusion, I hope that you guys are on the same